Hi, many wives complain that their husbands don't treat them fairly, like they don't get the love and care which they got at the beginning of their marriage life. Husbands don't spend time with their wives as they would like to. Husbands don't take them outside to have a breath of fresh air. Husbands make a big issue for the smallest mistake that the wives do. Money is not given the way that they would like to for their expenses, and mainly the sexual needs of the wives are not met by their husbands. The list goes on. These are some of the many complaints that we as counselors get on a daily basis. Husbands do have their share of the mistakes, no two words about it. We will do another video on it some other time. Today we will talk about the wives and what they should be doing. Both the husband and wife play roles in any problem. It is not a one-sided theory. But because wives play a secondary role, they always think that they are the victim. Distancing between couples do not happen overnight. Over a period of time, a lot of resentment is built inside, which leads to miscommunication, misunderstanding and fights. The one-time couple made for each other are now at loggerheads. Arguments lead to fights, fights lead to battles, and battles lead to war. You should remember that your husband has a completely different personality compared to you. His genes and the way that he was brought up and your genes and your upbringing are not the same. Therefore, the way that he thinks, feels and behaves cannot be the way that you do. This is the basic principle you need to understand. He eats to his fill and you eat to your capacity. When you forget this reality, a lot of differences and disputes can happen between you two. When you are upset with your husband, you try to make yourself right by saying, I am very nice, innocent, but my husband is bad and guilty. We always have a rosy and protective picture of ourselves when you are in a conflict with someone. You try to make yourself the best and the other person the worst. This is the negativity bias that most people create in their minds when they have problems with others. This is because the more you call the other person bad, the more you can justify your anger and frustration towards the other person. You want to make others think that you are on the higher level of goodness and your partner is bad, even if what you are doing is wrong. Your mind simply does not accept the fact that you are wrong in any situation and you try to justify. This is called negativity bias in our brain. And at that moment, it makes you believe, I have suffered so much, I have been nice, but my husband is selfish and wicked, and therefore I must fight back and justify my case in the eyes of all others too. This is why when people become emotionally upset, their language, their tone, their memory and everything gets one-sided. It is like when you are the victim, you distort the story in one pattern, and when you are the villain, you distort the story in another pattern. I am asking you to take some time, sit back and sincerely think of the past and see what is your contribution to your husband's behavior. For example, did you neglect him when your baby was born? Did you hurt his family in any way? Did you keep nagging him for your wants and needs? On what occasions were you demanding and shouting? On crucial matters, whom did you prioritize? Did you not give him enough space and freedom? Have you complained about him to someone and then he comes to know about it later? Were you not properly groomed for him when he needed you in bed, etc., etc.? In this manner, you should do some soul searching and try to rectify matters and your relationship with him. Most husbands generally don't get distance unless there is a valid reason. Instead of saying my husband is bad, you could say my husband uses bad words. In this manner, you are not taking him personally, but only saying that a certain trait of him is bad and he has other traits which are good too. He looks after you, spends for you, he is a protection for you, clothes you, your children, so on and so forth. Think of him positively and then maybe the positive vibes will work for you. These are some of the ways to resolve your husband's issues. We will talk about so many other ways how you should resolve your issues. Please do send us your questions and we will be glad to work on it. If you need further counseling, you can contact us for a world-class treatment. And if you like the video, please like it, subscribe to it and click the bell icon. Until then, good luck.